So as we've been watching the Trump regime unfold and do what they do on a daily basis, it's kind of crazy how any sort of objective way of measuring what they're doing, there's like a checklist of fascism and authoritarianism. And day after day, it's like, check, did that. Check, did that too. And we are going full speed ahead down this checklist of fascism, and he's hitting every goddamn point. I mean, arresting judges, that is wild. Rounding up innocent people with no due process and sending them to a slave labor gulag concentration camp in El Salvador, wild. Refusing to admit any mistake when the DOJ admitted, hey, getting Kilmar was a mistake, we shouldn't have done that. It's like, I don't know what else he would have to do. I mean, he tried to overthrow the 2020 election. Like, that alone should have been, okay, all right, he's done. He shouldn't even be allowed to run for office anymore because he attempted an insurrection. And the Constitution allows for you to say he can't run anymore because of that. But that didn't happen. So he's now stepped across another big, bright red line. Another thing on the checklist has been checked. You all know how he arrested Ross Baraka. ICE arrested Ross Baraka, the mayor of Newark, Democratic mayor. And then he was let out. But there were some rumors that they're going to end up arresting other Democratic congresspeople, congresswomen who were at this protest of an ICE facility in New Jersey. Well, now they're actually following through. Listen to this.
On Friday night, you might have seen the Washington Post publish this headline. Trump Justice Department considers removing key check on lawmaker prosecutions. The Post reporting on a proposal inside the Justice Department to make it so federal prosecutors across the country could indict sitting members of Congress without getting approval from lawyers in Maine Justice's public integrity section.
So we covered that. That's a huge deal. Basically, they're laying the groundwork to be able to mass arrest Democrats. There's some checks and balances and some rules in there to try to make sure there are no political prosecutions. Trump is getting rid of all the steps to try to ensure no political prosecutions. Why? Because he wants to politically prosecute people. He pretends like he was unfairly politically prosecuted. He wasn't. He committed 91 crimes. So he was charged with 91 crimes. He's a convicted felon in the state of New York. A lot of the trials, a lot of the cases were civil cases. He lost those cases easily. Business fraud, insurance fraud, bank fraud, the stuff with the sexual assault and sexual harassment. He's lost a lot of those cases. He was charged because he's a criminal. So it wasn't a political prosecution. It was a legitimate prosecution. He, on the other hand, he wants to do political prosecutions.
Any random U.S. attorney anywhere in the country could indict a sitting member of Congress on their own say-so without even needing to run it by anyone in Washington. That story broke on Friday, and it's obviously a big deal, right? One of the reasons the public integrity section exists at DOJ is to prevent prosecutors from bringing politically motivated charges. With this change, prosecutors could indict members of Congress on their own with no oversight and no check against politically motivated prosecutions. But like I said, as of Friday, the Washington Post was just reporting this as a proposal. Well, now tonight, we got this news. I mentioned it at the very top of the show. 2 weeks ago, Democratic mayor of Newark, New Jersey, Mayor Ross Baraka, was arrested by shambolic, unprofessional, very obviously out of their depth, masked Homeland Security officers while the mayor was protesting outside of an ICE detention center in his...
These are Trump's Gestapo. That's what it is. These ICE agents are Trump's Gestapo. A lot of these people are being deputized into doing it. They don't have badges. They cover their faces with balaclavas. These are Trump's thugs.
At the time, Trump's newly appointed U.S. attorney for New Jersey charged the mayor with one count of trespassing. Tonight, that U.S. attorney, her name is Alina Habba. She's one of Trump's old defense lawyers. Before that, she represented parking garage companies. Tonight, she dropped the case against Mayor Ross Baraka, but then she brought a new charge against a Democratic member of Congress. Congresswoman LaMonica McIver was with Mayor Baraka at the ICE detention center when he was arrested. Alina Habba has now charged Congresswoman McIver with assault, claiming that she assaulted, impeded, and interfered with law enforcement at the ICE facility.
Think about how insane that is. You're charging a Democratic congresswoman with assault of some armed ICE thug? Who's going to believe this? Well, I know who's going to believe this. The Kool-Aid drinking cultists in MAGA are going to believe it. But they're charlatans and they're liars. Deep down, even they know this is bullshit. Really? She assaulted an armed ICE officer. Really? By the way, we have videos of what happened. All that happened is she was yelling at them because they were being physically aggressive with her. But the fact that she raised her voice, oh, they're going to try to use that against her.
McIver has responded with this statement, quote, earlier this month, I joined my colleagues to inspect the treatment of ICE detainees at Delaney Hall in my district. We were fulfilling our lawful oversight responsibilities as members of Congress have done many times before. The charges against me are purely political. They mischaracterize and distort my actions. They are meant to criminalize and deter legislative oversight. And indeed, federal law explicitly protects the rights of members of Congress to inspect federal detention centers for immigrants, even with zero notice that they are doing so. Now, this story only just broke. We reached out to Alina Habba's office, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the state of New Jersey, to ask if they got approval from the Public Integrity Section at Maine Justice for these charges they have now brought against a sitting congresswoman. We have yet to hear back. We'll let you know when we do.
This is why Trump 1 and Trump 2 are very different. Trump 2, when I was sounding the alarm about this during the campaign, I said there are going to be no more guardrails. No more guardrails. There will be no voice in the room when they go to do stuff like this where they go, you know what? That's not a good idea. That's not going to work out. Clearly, it's an overreach. It's not going to go over well. There's nobody in the room like there was in the first term when General Milley was like, no, we're not going to invoke the Insurrection Act. We're not going to deploy U.S. soldiers in our own streets. We're not going to shoot protesters in the leg. We're not doing it. People were there to say no the first time. This time, he's handpicking loyalist, sycophant cultists, and so none of them ever say no. This is the person responsible for arresting both the mayor of Newark and a New Jersey congresswoman. Alina Habba is Trump's former personal lawyer, served as counselor to the president for less than 2 months, no prosecutorial experience before this interim appointment. So because he's got hand-picked sycophants, they're like, fuck it, I'll do whatever you want me to do. You want me to arrest a Democratic congresswoman and lie about her assaulting? Why not? Why not? Let's go for it. Every day, another thing on the fascism checklist. Check. Every single day. If people haven't woken up to what this is by now, there's no hope. They are TFG to the core. It's just not happening. Because so many things have crossed a big, bright red line. And anybody and everybody with a conscience has already said, you know what? I'm out. I'm done. But they're going to keep going. Bull in a china shop. They're going to keep going ahead. I mean, even we called so much of this shit. We called the military parade, which it happens primarily in dictatorships. Military parade. Trump's throwing one of those for himself. When all said and done, we will hit every checkpoint on that list. It's already at the point where there is no plausible deniability. It's only going to get worse, y'all. Buckle up. All right, guys, that's the show. I love you all very much. You guys know the drill. Everybody, please click like, click subscribe, click that bell icon so you get a notification every time a video drops. Thank you to everybody who supports the show on Patreon. We couldn't do it without you. Even just $2 a month goes a very, very long way. If you'd like to support the show, that link is below. I've never talked to an advertiser. I've never done an ad read. I'm very proud of that fact. This is real grassroots independent media. Subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends as well. That link will be below too. We have Omar Badr coming on the show this week to talk about Israel's final solution in Gaza, which we're all witnessing right in front of our eyes right now. And also go subscribe to Corn's World, the YouTube channel where we're posting the Kyle and Corn episodes. All right, guys. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Peace. Hey, y'all. Do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.